Alright. Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Venture Link here. Today we got another repair show for you guys. This time on my freshly acquired 1997 Toyota Camry LE. It's the 2.2 liter 5S-FE engine with the A140E Ascent automatic transmission. Today we will be doing a complete front brake job. I'm only going to show off one side because other than, left versus right caliper, it should be pretty much equal to both sides. Of course, if there are, anything I want to call it in particular, like wear or whatever else that needed the brakes to be replaced, well, yeah, I'll definitely show it off on both sides too, but like I said, the general procedure is going to be the same. So, as Joe Guerrero from the After Prison Show would say, why don't we go on in and dive? Feet first, not head first. Into this repair show. Yes, feet first over head first, because safety first on my channel. Always. Now, step 0 is to bust the lugs off. It's step 0 because if you don't have an impact gun like I do now, then you're going to have to get a long breaker bar with a 21mm socket either way. Just so you know, these are 21mm lug nuts. And you'll have to pop these loose by hand and get them like halfway off the stud. And then jack up the car. Otherwise, the real step 1 is to get the front end up in the air using jack stands, a lift, or whatever. Do not use ramps. It will not be of any help to you. All the same, make sure that your emergency brake is turned on and your rear wheels are squared and secured because, like I said, safety does matter on this channel and it's always going to stay that way. As you can see, I got my impact gun from Porter Cable, not a sponsor, and my 21mm impact from Craftsman, also not a sponsor, as Eric O would say. And we're going to bust these lugs off with the impact gun. Let's do it. Perfect. One clean bust off. Set our lug nut to the side. Let's do it. Perfect. 5 clean bust offs with his impact gun. Yay! Now you gotta take down the tire and store the tire in a safe place. Be it in the hatch of your van thing, or put it under the car. That's fine too. Do whatever. Next thing you want to do is pop this banjo bolt loose. It's 14mm. If you got an impact gun, you can always buzz it off later a little bit. Otherwise, you might want to bust it loose now if you don't got a 14 impact socket, or even an impact gun as a whole. Perfect. Came loose. That's all you need. Come loose, and then just tighten it back up by hand. And then put a little bit of force on it as necessary. Beautiful. That'll make it easier when I go and bust this loose later. Like that. Yeah, I think hand tight will be best. Now the next thing you want to do is you want to take off these 2 caliper bolts up here. There's one here and one down here. These are 14mm. Let's do it. There's one. My goodness, that one was a beast. Well, this actually came off nice and smooth. Perfect. Now you just want to take the caliper off, if you can. No, it's not. It's not being difficult. I lied. It's actually wanting to come off. Perfect. Perfect. For now, I'm going to set it on top of this rotor here. But if you got like a stack of Amazon boxes or a bungee cord, you can always take the bungee cord, tie it up on your strut here, and then mount the caliper in here. This is to prevent damage to the brake line. Okay, for now I just got my box wrench on here because I don't have a 17 impact, let alone a regular 17 socket. It is a 17, it fits on nice and good. And as a tip, you can always put one of these other box wrenches on for extra leverage. Now let's do it. Perfect. I got that one busted loose. Let's see if I can at least take this off the rest of the way with this box wrench. Oh, good. Perfect. This isn't the most efficient means, I know, so yeah. I'll just at least get this a little bit loose, and I'll just loosen the rest off cam. But when we do the final torquing, I will have a 1/2" drive 17mm impact socket, just so I can, torque this down. And of course, if I did have an impact socket in the first place, I can at least sneak it in there for the bottom. Top, not so much, but whatever. Before we continue, I do want to go over something first. When I was hitting the brakes, especially at speed like 40 miles an hour or greater, the steering wheel was vibrating a lot and shaking around. There are several causes for this. First off are these slide pins. I had to really work these out just to get them loose again. So, yeah, see, it's starting to be hard to get out by hand here. So, yeah, additionally, these brake pads, this one has a little bit of meat, but this one, yeah, this one's like almost gone like right to the core. So, as Eric O would say, "Here's your problem, lady." And for grins and giggles, this one's a little easier, but all the same, I had to work this one out just to make it loose. So, yeah, lack of lubrication on these slide pins will do it. And also, crappy brake pads or run-down brake pads will do it too. So, the pads look pretty even to me. However, this is pretty hard to move up and up, back and forth, up and down. Although I just freed that. So, yeah. But the combination of these pretty difficult to remove slide pins and the worn-out brake pads on the front right side of the car. Yeah, that concludes the "There's your problem, lady" section. Rotor time. Ideally, these just slide right off. Perfect. Slides right off. Rotor feels smooth and looks smooth too. So for right now, I'm just going to claim these brake pads and or these slide pins as the "There's your problem, lady." Otherwise, if this was stuck on, my advice to you is take some penetrating oil, spray here, 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 and here, where the brake rotor makes contact with the back of the stud. Let it sit for a moment. And then take a big old hammer, or even a claw hammer in the case of the journey, and start wailing at it and bust it off. That's assuming you're not going to shave the rotor and get a new one, which I would get a new one anyway. Even though O'Reilly's can actually, turn the rotors and brake drums for you, I'd still be more safe with new hardware. So with that being said, now the next step here is to get a wire wheel, or a Dremel with a wire wheel, or get a drill with a wire wheel attachment. Some kind of powered wire wheel attachment, or even a wire brush. You're going to want to clean this rust off and then get ready to cut it with anti-seize later. Got my wire wheel attachment for a drill here. Let's do it. But before that, make sure you got your safety glasses on and you've got a long jean jacket or something so that way you don't get hit by the shrapnel. Right, clean it just like that. I may have to, do this off cam. Because this can, go every which way when you're trying to use a drill, so yeah. See? Going out of control. So yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it, just clean the rust off. Alrighty, here's all the parts that we'll be using for our brake job here. I got 2 Raybestos calipers, not a sponsor. Got an AC Delco rotor, got 2 of those, that's also not a sponsor. Also Akabono brake pads, again, not a sponsor. But there's the part number all the same. There's all the part numbers you need. This is the front left caliper, and this is the front right caliper. Now I just unpacked my Raybestos caliper here. Not a sponsor, just so you know. These 2 right here are 14 mils. These are, 17 because we're going to be reusing those mounting screws. And this bleeder is 8 millimeters. And yes, heads up, you should make sure that, you can always bust these loose. See? Comes loose. I can tighten that hand tight, know what I'm saying? And there is no new banjo bolt, so I suppose we'll be reusing the old banjo bolt for this. So make of that what you will. If you can get a box wrench or a D-peg, that'd be great. That'd be even better than this little shorty socket here. Now, if you don't got an impact gun, you can always dry mount this caliper here and bust off these bolts here, for the caliper. There's, like I said, they're both 14 millimeters. You can just go ahead and bust them loose, and then after you get them all loose and off, they can just disassemble the whole pad assembly from the vehicle. Alrighty, now that you got the wheel hub as clean as you can, time to use some anti-seize from Permatex, not a sponsor, and thread on all these lug nuts back onto the studs here. You want to do that to protect the wheel studs from getting hit by anti-seize. Then after that, you just open up your anti-seize and go to town. Make sure you do get all the wheel hub. You also want to make sure you nail this outside edge here, this outside perimeter, because it's here, and also this inside ring here, where the brake rotors tend to stick the most. So yeah, make sure you especially coat these insides and also coat that outside perimeter as well. And of course, if you run out of anti-seize, just lightly tap your brush in, boom. As Taraz Cool would say, boom. Perfect. Now we just take all the lug nuts back off the car, well, if you can now, and get ready for the next step. Alrighty, I made my own makeshift little brake surgery area. So, I just unpacked the rotor after getting the wheel hub, you know, all nice and pretty with anti-seize and didn't get any on the studs. Now, shing, brake clean. Not a sponsor. Of course, you just lightly spray this because you got to get all that, you know, all that rust proofing stuff that they put on the factory. You just got to get that off. Do it on both sides. Perfect. And now we come over to the car and put the brake rotor on. It just slides right on just like a tire does, just so you know. And as a quick free tip Friday or Wednesday, well, when this video was filmed anyway, then put on YouTube, you want to take a couple of these lugs after you get the rotor on and screw them on, so that way it'll be easier to line the caliper bracket onto the vehicle. As you can see, after we separated the brake caliper from the pad bracket, that's already got the little tabs in here. Alright, so I suppose pretty much all you gotta do is just put some anti-seize in these little tabs here. Boom, you're done. Additionally, you wanna pop each of these lines off. These little slide pins. These look like slightly lubed, but to be sure, I'd put some more lube on there. You know, you can never have enough lube, you know what I'm saying? Then after you get it all lubed up, slide it in. It'll click in place. Boom. So let's get it all put together now. Pad bracket bolts. One here, one up here, as you already know. Get the pad bracket lined up with the bolts, thread them in, get them on nice and snug. While you got this all apart, you can sneak a torque wrench back in here. After you sneak the caliper back in here and get it all lined up and get it all nice and snug here and here, you should be able to sneak a torque wrench in here as well for these. So now that we got everything all put back together, now it's time to transplant the line from one brake caliper to the new one. Just make sure you be careful here because there is this red plug here, 2 copper seals here. Take that out. Take the seals out, boom. Also, you want to pinch this with needle-nose vice grips. I use like vacuum hose or whatever this is to put over the actual grippy part of the vice grip so it don't break the hose. Again, you reuse the banjo bolt. It's 14 millimeters, so you might as well just start transplanting now. And if you do run into the double gasketed issue, you know, you can always just pop out the old copper gaskets with a screwdriver. Now keep in mind with this banjo fitting, there's a hole in here you got to line this fitting up with and tighten it down. Just so you know, this is 78 inch-pounds. When you torque this, that's 78 inch-pounds, not 78 foot-pounds. 2 caliper bolts here, and here, these silver ones. 25 foot-pounds, and the pad bracket bolts, you know, one up here, right there, those are 79 foot-pounds. Okay, now that we got all the brakes put on this vehicle for the front side, now it's time to bleed the brakes. If you did a complete brake job like I did, you want to start from the right front, then the left front. If you only did one side only, just bleed that one side out. Boom. Otherwise, if you did a full brake job, you know, all 4 wheels, you start at the right rear, right front, left front, a Z pattern. I'll put one up, you know, to illustrate what I mean. But you get an 8mm ratchet, socket, box wrench, whatever. You'll have someone in the driver's seat with the windows down. You'll start on the one side that you did. Like in this case, I'll do this side and then the right side here. You'll have them pump down the brake pedal like 3 times, and then on the 4th time you'll hold it down, have them hold it down, then you'll crack the bleeder open, and then you'll close it back up. You'll keep repeating this process until you get fluid come out. When you get the fluid come out, you'll bleed it one more time, and then if it gets the fluid out again, congratulations, you're good to go. Just make sure you keep topping off the brake fluid all the same as you keep going. After that, you put the tires back on after you get all the brakes bled. After you get the tires back on the car, put the lug nuts back on, and lower the vehicle onto the ground. Your torque spec is 76 foot-pounds. Go in a star pattern. Now, don't forget the final step. Pump the brake pedal enough times to make sure you got a good pedal, so that way you don't lose your brakes all of a sudden and then have to keep rebuilding back. Don't forget to also recheck your torque on your lug nuts like 100 miles in to make sure they're still good and tight. And that's it. You're done. You just completed a brake job on a 4th generation Toyota Camry, which runs from 1997 to 2001. Let's go wrap this up. Well, another simple brake job complete, even though the video took pretty long. Nothing to it, especially if you saw all my other brake job shows and follow them exactly. So yeah, wasn't too much different. Nothing new actually learned other than, you know, you guys get some content and learn how to fix brakes on your own Toyota Camry. This is pretty much just a short little outro here. Just want to say I'm Adventure Link. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support, past, present, and future. As always, if you got any questions, comments, praise, criticisms, whatever, please drop them in the YouTube comments below this video. Be sure to rate and subscribe, share it to friends and family, and if you never want to miss another video from me again, you gotta ring that bell. Please do all those things because it helps me to make a living here on YouTube, or at least keep it going anyway. More importantly, it helps to get my word out so I can help a lot of people too. And also to tell YouTube and myself if I'm doing a good job or not and I'm not making crappy videos. And if you ever have any questions about Toyota Camrys as a whole, please join the Toyota Enthusiasts Facebook group. If you have a third or fourth generation Toyota Camry and you have any questions on that, or if you own one, join the third or fourth generation Toyota owners krew. That's KREW, that is. All the same, be sure to join up, sign up, post your questions, and the fine folks at either medium will be happy to answer any questions you have in a timely manner. Don't forget the medical bill and social media stuff. That's also down in the video description. Please consider donating. The parts list for today will be in the video description as well, so do check that out. Of course, any amount helps out, and as Gains from the Grave would say, it helps keep this channel and myself live and undead. Now we're going to sign off with the wise words of wisdom from Eric the Car Guy, reminding you guys to be safe, have fun, and of course, stay dirty. And as Eric O would say, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Take care. See you all for the next video. Until then, have yourselves a great day, evening, or whatever time of day this is for you. Have a good one.